doesn't happen to me, I will die. If I don't get this, my day will not be all right. Just like a child who's starting to walk, what makes him unable to walk properly is fear that he will fall down. Someone who's learning swimming, his biggest fear is what? His biggest enemy is his fear. I remember a few years ago, I don't swim, it's a big thing. But a few years ago, we went to a city called Dahab on the borders with Saudi Arabia. On the other side, you can see Saudi Arabia on the Aqaba Gulf in Egypt. It's one of the best places for snorkeling in the world. So I went snorkeling, and I was very fearful because the place was really deep and steep. It's called a Blue Point in the Red Sea. Literally, it's more than 200 meters depth. It's very, very deep. So my fear, like you can just look down there, and there is nothing in front of you, and you don't know how to swim. So you're fearful. So the guy who was helping me, he's saying, look, your biggest enemy is fear. Just relax, because you're fearful, you start moving, you feel choked, right? And I'm asthmatic, so that complicates the situation. He said, just relax. So I tried to relax myself. When I started the relaxation, and I had a life jacket around me and everything, right? I was able to snorkel normally. And I was able to see the beauties. It's full of corals and beautiful like fish and sea things. So I enjoyed it only because of what? Because of this, like I was able to control my fear. So with our day-to-day life, we think sometimes I'm unable to do this. I'm unable to do that. Sometimes you tell people, can't you even like sit 15 minutes? No, 15 minutes, I don't think I will be able to commit that. You will be able to. You just need to cut on other things. In Ramadan, you're able to stay awake all night and sleep for a few hours and then function the rest of the day. No problem. You need to love it. You need to love it, and you need to make that into a habit. Same thing with reading. Same thing with many things that we do in our day-to-day life. Like even in reading, for instance, I noticed that when people read, they just read very quickly, haphazardly. I'm a very slow reader. But when I read, the reason why I'm a slow reader, because I don't let a word to pass without like checking it in the dictionary and possibly looking into the history of it. So while people can read like 20 pages and they just get superficial information, I read 2 pages, but I've accumulated a lot of proper information about each and every word. It's a habit. It's a habit that I learned from my father, that you don't let anything pass without knowing what is this. What is this? What is this doing there? That's why I take time in reading books. Long time. It doesn't matter. I have a book with me upstairs, Qamat al-Hariri. It has been with me since February. I took it to India, to Singapore, to Canada, to the States, and again to Singapore a few times. And then it's here. Alhamdulillah, I'm finishing today. Yeah, I said, okay, I'll finish it from Ramadan. But it has been there. It's with me, even when I'm not reading in it. But when I'm reading, I check each and every single thing. The amount of knowledge that I managed to get from reading that book is amazing. So it's all about habits. Ramadan is all about habits. We have 30 days of training. Make sure that this training doesn't go in vain. How would the training go in vain when you don't use it? Many of our talents die because we don't use them. Ability to memorize things or to learn things die because we're not using it. Like your hand, like your muscles. When you don't use your muscles, when you stop doing sports, you will not be fit. Right? When you stop writing, one of my friends was a calligrapher. He had a beautiful handwriting. he stopped practicing calligraphy for a few years. When he started holding the pen again, it was a challenge just to hold the pen. In fact, I can assure that to all of you that holding the pen for you is a challenge. Try to hold the pen for 2 hours continuously. I remember when we were students and we had to write our exam sheets. We were writing for 2 hours. Nowadays, if you write for half an hour, you will feel pain in your fingers. Why? You have replaced that habit with this habit. Ibn Khaldun speaks in his Muqaddimah about al-hiraf al-sana'a, professions and jobs, and how do they affect people's muscles. How are they related to the system? So for instance, if a person his job is, for instance, he's a tailor, he will have a sharp eyesight. Why? He needs the sharp eyesight to put the thread into the needle. And the needle hole is very small, so he has to have that. Right? If someone is of a specific profession, the first thing that he will look for in a house is what is related to his profession. Right? So we need to use what we have learned in Ramadan. The habits, some of the habits that we have got in Ramadan. And don't write a long list. Don't say I can do this and this and this and this and this and that. No. Put a list of 3 things that you need to do after Ramadan, that you have learned from Ramadan, you need to do after Ramadan. Keep your awrad morning and evening. Make sure that that doesn't go away, like your day doesn't pass without you fulfilling your awrad. Trying to keep time for that. Keep your relation with the Quran every day after Ramadan, even if it's like 1 page every day. Force yourself to sit down and do a page every day. 100 La ilaha illallah. Keep your dhikr every day after Ramadan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala